The alarm bells hadn't even finished their echo when Lieutenant Serena Vale stepped out of line. Every pair of eyes on the base shifted, disbelief etched into tense faces. "You can't do that!" a sergeant barked, voice sharp and uncompromising. But Serena's hands were steady, her resolve unwavering, even as the weight of protocol pressed down on her shoulders. Something had to be done. And rules, for all their order, were no longer enough. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're rewatching from. I love knowing who is listening. The base, usually alive with clanging metal and shouted commands, seemed to hold its breath. Dust drifted in shafts of sunlight through the windows. Even the hum of the fluorescent lights felt quieter, like the world itself was waiting for what came next. Serena's heart raced, not from fear, but from anticipation, the knowledge that she alone stood between disaster and chaos. Every soldier, every officer, every newcomer and veteran sensed it, even if they couldn't articulate why. Serena had always been exceptional, not just in skill, but in courage. She had faced situations that would break most seasoned operatives, yet she moved with clarity and calm. Inside, however, doubt whispered. What if breaking the rules wasn't enough? What if her decision backfired, bringing reprimand or worse upon herself? The tug of moral responsibility and personal conviction created a storm that she carried silently, even as the base watched in tense, incredulous silence. Her actions began simply a calculated maneuver, a deviation from protocol so minor it almost seemed unnoticeable. But the consequences rippled outward like concentric circles in water. Systems she bypassed started humming in unexpected ways. Alarms previously thought to signal danger now fell silent. She guided a team through an uncharted sequence of actions. Her voice low but authoritative, compelling attention even from those who had been her harshest critics. Murmurs began curious, skeptical, anxious. Some whispered that she had gone too far, that discipline had been shattered. Others, who had trained alongside her, felt a spark of hope, a recognition that this breach of procedure might save lives. The moral tension thickened. Was she reckless or brilliant, bright or wrong? Every second stretched, the entire base caught between obedience and possibility. Then, as if the universe itself had been waiting for her decision, the chain reaction unfolded. Systems corrected themselves. Hazards previously invisible became manageable. Teams moved seamlessly, like dancers following an unseen choreography. Soldiers, once frozen with uncertainty, acted with precision and confidence. Serena's gamble had worked. The impossible had been averted, not by protocol, but by intuition, courage, and daring judgment. The base, which moments ago had been alive with tension, froze completely. Eyes widened, mouths opened, but no words emerged. Even the commanding officers, who prided themselves on composure, were struck dumb. Every soldier understood, without being told, that they had witnessed something extraordinary. A single individual's courage had rewritten expectation, saved the day, and redefined what leadership truly meant. The silence was reverent, almost sacred, carrying with it a recognition that could not be taught or commanded. Serena lowered her head, exhaling slowly. Relief and exhaustion mingled in her chest. But more than that was the quiet satisfaction of having acted decisively when it mattered most. She had broken the rules. Yes, but she had also protected lives, ensured safety, and reminded everyone present that the spirit of service sometimes demands action beyond obedience. Later, when the tension eased and the base returned to routine, her colleagues approached. Applause, tentative at first, broke into full recognition. Respect, earned through action, replaced doubt. The lessons were clear. Courage is measured not by following every rule, but by understanding when to act despite them. Serena had embodied that truth. The silence she left behind had become a powerful testament to moral courage and leadership under pressure. Because true bravery, isn't always about obedience about knowing when the rules are meant to be broken. And in that quiet, sunlit base, the lesson lingered. The most extraordinary courage is often invisible until it acts, leaving a silence that speaks louder than any command. If this story inspired you, leave a comment sharing where you're watching from. Subscribe to Whispered Words for more cinematic tales of courage, moral strength, and heroes who redefine the impossible.